Okay, so today let us know something about normal distribution. So before that, I just remind you about the PMF or the probability mass function of binomial distribution. Now you see, a random variable x, should I say a discrete random variable x, is said to follow binomial distribution if it assumes non-negative values, and its PMF is given by probability x equals to small x, or symbolically we write Px equals to NCx p to the power x q to the power n minus x, and x goes from 0, 1, 2 up to n, and q stands as 1 minus p and equals to 0 otherwise. Now, what is this P and what is this Q? You see, I can write this here also. Probability x equals to R equals to NCR P to the power R Q to the power n minus R. This probability gives probability of x, the small x successes in n trials. If I write probability x equals to R equals to NCR P to the power R Q to the power n minus R, then I say that this is the probability of R successes in n trials. So you can use any small letter, x, R, T, anything. For example, if I take n equals to 10 and here I write probability x equals to 4. At that time, what will be the PMF or the probability? That means 10 C4 P to the power 4 Q to the power n minus 4, and this is nothing but probability of 4 successes in 10 trials. Now you see, as I say probability of x successes in n trials, what could be the minimum value of x? X represents the number of successes. Now it is possible that out of n trials, none of the trials giving me success. In that case, the value of x is 0. It is possible that out of n trials, only one trial giving me success, that is x equals to 1. And it is also possible that out of n trials, all the trials giving me success. At that time, x equals to n. And what is p? This p is nothing but the probability of success in a single trial, and q equals to 1 minus p, that is probability of failure in a single trial. For example, I toss a coin say 10 times, that means the number of trials n equals to 10, and if I get head, I take it as a success. So what is the probability of say 6 successes in 10 trials? So here what is p? P means the probability of success in a single trial. That means probability of head in a single toss. In that case, the value of P equals to half. And obviously value of Q equals to 1 minus half, that is half. So I can, using this PMF, I can evaluate directly the probability of 6 successes in 10 tosses of a coin. Fine? And this N, P or Q, N, P or Q these are called the parameters of the distribution. So this is a discrete distribution because the concerned variable is discrete by nature. Now what happens if the number of trials becomes extremely large? For example, if the number of trials becomes extremely large, theoretically we say that n tends to infinity, and P, the constant probability of success in a single trial, is extremely small. Theoretically we say that P tends to 0. One is very large, another one is very small, so that their product becomes a finite quantity. So if these three conditions are given, then binomial distribution tends to Poisson distribution. There is a derivation also, hopefully I discussed this. I just remind you, the definition of Poisson distribution is like that. A discrete random variable is said to follow Poisson distribution if it assumes non-negative values and its PMF is given by probability x equals to small x equals to e to the power minus lambda, lambda to the power x by x factorial. And here x goes from 0, 1, 2 up to so on. So on means it's infinity. Infinity in the sense that I tell you one thing, n tends to infinity means the number of trials is extremely large. So practically, if the number of trials exceeds 30, we take it as a large trial. So if the number of trials is large and p, that means the probability of success in a single trial, if that becomes very small, in that case, to evaluate the probability of x successes in n trials, we use the Poisson distribution or the Poisson PMF. Here, lambda is known as the parameter of the distribution, and we symbolize as x follows. This symbol is nothing but follows p lambda, that means Poisson distribution with parameter lambda. Now I start with another distribution, that is normal distribution. Now see, normal distribution is a continuous distribution, and binomial distribution follows normal distribution is if these two conditions are satisfied. That means the number of trials is extremely large and neither p, that means probability of success in a single trial, nor q is extremely small. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then binomial distribution follows normal distribution. Now about normal distribution, you just see that was discovered in 1733 by English mathematician De Moivre, who obtained this continuous distribution as a limiting case of binomial distribution. As a limiting case of binomial distribution means from binomial PMF tending n tends to infinity and p and q does not tend to 0. So under these two conditions, De Moivre obtained the probability function of the normal distribution. And how we define the normal distribution? A random variable, should I say a continuous random variable x, is said to follow normal distribution with parameters mu and sigma square. You can say parameters mu and sigma also, no problem. So here mu is called the mean of the distribution and sigma square is called the variance of the distribution, and sigma definitely the square root of variance, that is standard deviation. So a continuous random variable x is said to follow normal distribution with parameters mu and sigma square if its PDF. In case of continuous distribution, the probability function is called PDF, probability density function, and in case of discrete we use the term PMF. So if its PDF is given by fx semicolon mu sigma, that means two parameters are there, equals to, you have to remember this one, 1 upon sigma into root 2 pi to the power minus half x minus mu upon sigma square. exp, writing exp means e to the power, or you can write this way also, 1 upon sigma into root 2 pi e to the power minus x minus mu square upon 2i sigma square. And here x lies between minus infinity to plus infinity, and mu also lies between minus infinity to plus infinity, and sigma always greater than 0, that means it's a positive square root of the variance. So this is the PDF of normal distribution. You have to remember, you will be needing in each and every step in your course. Now some properties of normal distribution. It is said that the normal distribution is unimodal. Unimodal means the distribution has only one mode. In fact, I tell you one thing, binomial distribution is bimodal because binomial distribution has two modes, but normal distribution is unimodal, symmetric distribution. Now symmetric distribution means the shape of the distribution is symmetric. You see, this is the shape of a symmetric distribution. That means if we fold this graph along a vertical line, along the line at x equals to mu, and if you fold this, then you will see the two sides will coincide. The two sides will coincide. For example, the shape of human face. If you take your photograph and just fold the photograph along a vertical line, you will see the two sides will coincide. So this is a bell-shaped distribution, that means symmetric distribution with maximum ordinate. Ordinate means the maximum height is at x equals to mu. One more thing I tell you, a distribution is said to be symmetric if mean, median and mode falls at the same point. So for normal distribution, mean equals to median equals to mode. So mean equals to mu, median is also mu, and mode is also mu. Mean means the average of all these x values. It stands here. And what is median? Median means that value of x which divides the distribution into two equal parts. So this is the point at which we see the distribution is divided into two equal parts. And what is mode? Mode is the value of x which has got highest peak or highest frequency. So at x equals to mu, you see the curve has got the highest peak. So remember this point. For a normal distribution, mean equals to median equals to mode. Maximum ordinate is at x equals to mu, as I told you. Ordinate here reflects the y value or the height. The curve is asymptotic. Basically, it is asymptotic to the x-axis. What's the meaning of the asymptotic property? You see, the curve is asymptotic to the x-axis. It means that as you proceed the right side, the curve will come closer and closer to the x-axis, but it will never touch. Or theoretically we say it will touch at the infinity. Similarly, if we proceed towards the left side, the curve will become closer and closer to the x-axis, but it will never touch the x-axis, or it will touch at the infinity. So this is called the asymptotic curve. The curve is asymptotic to the x-axis. The points of inflections are mu minus sigma and mu plus sigma. Points of inflection means the point at which the curve turns a bend. You see, here it comes this way, this way, this way, and at this point you see the curve bends towards right. So this is one point of inflection, that means at x equals to mu plus sigma, and this is another point of inflection, that means x equals to mu minus sigma. Here if we come this way, at this point you see the curve just starts a bend. Coefficient of skewness equals to 0. For a symmetric distribution, the coefficient of skewness is 0 and coefficient of kurtosis is 3. You have to remember this point. And all the odd order moments as we have gone through, all the odd order moments vanish, that means 0. And you have to remember also this, the mean deviation equals to this, quartile deviation equals to this, and Q1 and Q3. Q1 means the first quartile, Q3 means the second quartile.